Motion got me all faded, my heart got me going all crazy, and I won't be walking away. Yeah, New York in the sunshine, I'm a fool, yeah. I got my love blind, and ooh yeah, got my heart out, and it's covered in gold, like moonlight over Hollywood, and it's cool, yeah, 'cause you know it's good, oh baby, we'll never get old. You got it going on, I'll be there in a heartbeat. Tell me your favorite song, I'll put it on repeat. I could wait for you forever, through the storms or any weather. Yeah, you're like New York in the sunshine, I'm a fool, yeah. I got my love blind, and ooh yeah, got my heart out, and it's covered in gold, like moonlight over Hollywood, and it's cool, yeah, 'cause you know it's good, oh baby, we'll never get old. Down in Cali, driving round with my baby, top drops and raindrops, motion got me all faded, my heart got me going all crazy, won't be walking away, yeah. Heading down Cali, driving round with my baby, top drops and raindrops, motion got me all faded, my heart got me going all crazy, and I won't be walking away. Yeah, New York in the sunshine, I'm a fool, yeah. I got my love blind, and ooh yeah, got my heart out, and it's covered in gold, like moonlight over Hollywood, and it's cool, yeah, 'cause you know it's good, oh baby, we'll never get old. You got it going on, I'll be there in a heartbeat. Tell me your favorite song, I'll put it on repeat. I could wait for you forever, through the storms or any weather. Yeah, you're like New York in the sunshine, I'm a fool, yeah. I got my love blind, and ooh yeah, got my heart out, and it's covered in gold, like moonlight over Hollywood, and it's cool, yeah, 'cause you know it's good, oh baby, we'll never
Good evening, happy peoples. Hope you're doing well, keeping safe, and still loving FPL. Welcome to that FPL Lounge. The doors are now open, and you're all welcome to pop in and say hello and sit back and relax. Whether that's in the text chat here or in beside us in Discord, one of the mods will put in the link to the Discord. So if you want to come on live on air, you're more than welcome to do so. All the links to every single bit of social media that we're involved in is all in front of your faces just now. If you're listening, there's quite a lot to list, so yeah, we'll maybe cover that in a bit. Remember, first and foremost, it's only a game. Our friends and family come first. This evening, I have the obvious pleasure of our Matt in beside me. Boona might be popping in, but he might not be. So it's a wait and see on Boona. However, Matthew, how are you, pal? Are you doing well?
Good evening, happy people. Yeah, lad.
Yeah, not too bad, pal. Not too bad. Absolutely freezing. Ended up missing.
Don't give me that bollocks. This is like summer for you boys up there.
Yeah, well, that's true. I've been kicking about in shorts and t-shirt for the last few days, to be honest. Clearing the drive yesterday in a pair of shorts got dragged a few eyes in my direction, so that was quite funny. Anywho, nobody is here to listen to us waffling on, Matt. Will we get our guest in?
Aye.
Okie dokie, people. So tonight, not just one, we have got a double act. We trust that over the course of the next hour or so, that this evening will be a happy hour indeed. Within the Twitter sphere, they are individually known as FPL 2 Guys 1 Cup and FPL Panda. This season, they joined forces, and what a force it is, creating weekly podcasts via the tubes with their friendly, relaxed style, very similar to us, I think. I know they are very similar to us. We implore you to pop over to their channel and wrap your ears all about their weekly uploads. Such a great duo, such great chemistry. They say pandas eat shoots and leaves, but I promise you this panda's going to be here for the next hour or so don't worry yourself. And I don't even want to think about a viral video that could go about with 2 Guys 1 Cup, and it was Matt that told me about the reference, by the way. I have no idea what that reference means, he says. Just starting their new exciting YouTube journey, but have already combined over 3,000 followers over there on Twitter. It's a great mixture of stats, banter, and analytics. Can't even say it. Put your teeth back in, Stevie. Yes, analytics will do. Let's get to know these two superstars a little bit better and chat all things injury flags with the twosome that are also known as the FPL Happy Hour podcast. Let's get a drink in the lounge. It's Happy Hour. Good evening, Sham. Good evening, Rob.
That has got to be the best introduction I've ever had in my life. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, mate. I think we'll have to record that and we'll use that on next week's pod.
100%.
We'll just get rid of the intro music. Just have that.
It is free for you to use, and it's not a problem. Hope the two of you are doing well. You's all right?
I'm very
good
well,
here.
thank you.
All good here.
All good here.
Good stuff. I see Boona's just popped in the chat there, so he's saying that he should hopefully be joining us, which is great. So the trio will be back together. But as I say, get all your questions that you might have, what's on your mind, any dilemmas, get them off your chest, get them written in chat. It's Matt's chat, so he'll keep an eye on it, and we'll get through it. We'll have a look at our own teams, how we did in the last game week. And as someone wrote on Twitter just before we went live, looked at his FPL team and it was like, funnily enough, it was like, what do you call it? It was like the Super Bowl final. It was just flags everywhere. But yeah, let's have a look and we'll see what's happening. And yeah, hopefully we'll end the pod at ease with ourselves. Anywho, Matthew, let's get to know these two a bit better, shall we?
Yes, we shall. Do you want to go with your first question, your most loved question of all?
Go for it. You want to ask it or shall I?
You can ask it because we know it's your favourite.
Okie dokie. So we know, Sham and Rob, that you are obviously all over Twitter, now on YouTube as a combo, which is great. However, who are Sham and Rob? what else do you get up to out with of YouTube and Twitter? Just to get to know you that little bit better.
You want to go first, mate?
Yeah, you can
Rob,
just
do you want to go
decide.
first, mate?
Oh, I'll go first then. Yeah. So yeah, my name's Rob. I live down near the south coast, between London and Brighton. By day, I'm a software programmer for a till systems company. So yeah, at the moment, quite quiet with all the restaurants and that closed. And yeah, like my passion's always been for football or for sport in general, but yeah, football mainly. And then it's only in the last sort of 3 or 4 years, like I've always dabbled with fantasy football, but yeah, in the last 3 or 4 years, I've really started to take it seriously. And in the last year or so, done a lot of work with making spreadsheets and stuff, and kind of inspired by the likes of Ben Crellin and others on Twitter. So yeah, and that's ended up becoming a big part of what I've been doing really in the community. And on top of that, also part of the team that runs Champman FPL.
Oh, excellent!
Which has been, yeah, it's just been an astonishing success. That after we ran it for the first season during lockdown part 1, and now tonight is actually game week 14 of the second season, which yeah, it's really good. Good fun. Made loads of friends working on it. And, yeah, long may it continue.
Excellent. Yeah, I think they've actually in our Discord. I think there are a few members that we've got that play the Championship Manager FPL. So yeah, there's quite a few of them in here that also play it. So no, good for you. Excellent. What about yourself?
It's good fun.
Sorry.
I can't answer any questions on Champman FPL today.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll keep everything under wraps.
Yeah.
And what about yourself, Sham? Who is Sham?
So I'm Sam. I'm a avid football fan, West Ham season ticket holder, and yeah, I live in Chesington, which is in the south. Been playing FPL for a number of years. I did have a podcast a couple of years ago called the FPL Two Guys One Cup podcast, and that's how it kind of started. And I took over the Twitter name. So me and my best mate Shez, we set up a podcast. It went really, really well. An FPL one, and then I had some personal reasons, so I had to stop. And then when I was ready to start up again, he got busy with work and been really wanting to kind of get back into podding again, and that's when I came across Rob, and we started doing that. But yeah, that's pretty much me.
No,
by day for a job, I'm a fraud analyst, so I look at fraud data, so internal fraud.
Right.
So
I might just go.
I'm very good at analysing data and analytics and that type of thing. So yeah.
So that's where you get that aspect from. I might just go on mute now, just while I make sure that nothing fraudulent's happening in the background. And I was
going to say, you must have a field day with some of these Premier League teams. The amount of fraudulence that comes out this season.
A retailer, so I basically look at fraud within that retailer and try to basically find individuals that are, committing fraud or theft or whatever.
Excellent, good stuff. I'm glad you said though that like fraud analyst and not stir or anything like that.
Wouldn't have been a good start to the stream, right?
Yeah, definite. What I was going to say, Matt, do you want to just say hello to a few people in the chat and then we'll crack on with the rest of our questions? There's quite a few people in, so it's only fair to say hello.
Right, we got Phil in the chat, we got Sam, John, we got the regulars, we got we got Davey in the chat. Garrick is a new person I've not seen before.
Nice.
We got Kumar. Sorry, Kumar, I'm gonna have to say your last name because fraudulence in myself, I would not be able to pronounce that first name. And we've got Infamous Anderson and a load of others.
And Craigo's just in there with a little wave at the end. So welcome your faces. Thanks very much for joining us. It's greatly appreciated. Matt, you want to crack on with the next question?
Yes, we'll go to Rob first. What type of Premier League manager would you say you were? Are you more maverick or are you a slow burner kind of thing?
Probably somewhere in the middle. Like, there's times when you need to make those maverick decisions. They don't always pay off, obviously. But then there's times when it's best to sort of stay safe and sort of watch the carnage unfold.
Oh mate, I've fucked up there straight away then. But please do continue.
But it's it's something that we chatted about a bit on the pod this week about like go hard or go home and playing it safe. And I think I'd say I'm a bit of both. Probably more leaning towards playing it safe.
Okay.
I don't make too many rash decisions unless I get coerced when I'm like half asleep still, which happened in the double game week a few weeks ago.
I'm going to tell that story.
Yeah. Sham made me well, he didn't make me. I'd been up for like 2 minutes, and he said you need to captain Thomas Souček for the double game week. So I didn't ask any questions and just did it.
Right. As you do.
And it didn't seem like a bad idea. And to be honest, all the other captaincy, like big captaincy options that week, it didn't work out as well. So I didn't really lose much on it. But that's probably as maverick as I get sometimes.
That shows you how close the two of yous are podding together when one can just text the other or phone the other and say, by the way, you've only got 2 minutes to make this decision, but get your armband here.
Yeah, give it to the potato salad man.
Yeah. And what about yourself, Sham? What, as Matt was saying there, what kind of manager best describes you? Are you maverick with your decisions, or are you, a slow player, so to speak?
It's Booner, actually, because I know he's a maverick type player, and he'd go hard and go home.
Yeah, Booner.
Hi, Booner.
How's it going, gents?
Oh, here
Gents,
he
how you
is.
doing? Sorry I'm late. Hope you're doing well.
Don't be that.
Me, Maverick, nah, I'm boring as fuck these days, bro.
Not from the decisions I've seen you make, mate.
Yeah, I'm not here to talk FPL. I'm just here to. I thought this was the clinic. I need the FPL clinic, guys. I'm in a bit of shit right now.
You're the guy with all the
I'm
injections.
definitely a maverick type. I'll kind of make those decisions where, I think it will pay off.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say I'm a safe manager.
Okay, because interesting with the people that we've had on the last couple of weeks, like Ola, world number 1, he definitely plays a slow game, but he's not adverse to just making a bit of a maverick decision now and again. But we have had quite a few folk on that are quite slow, like slow players. The total polar opposite to the likes of Buna and Marcel and Matt. Like, you know what I mean?
I go hard and then cry on the way home. That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. A few more people joining us and saying hello. Good evening to the Hombre. Good evening. Sean Mark's there, and Penguin has also come in. Good evening. So I mentioned the fact that the two of you were together, and you mentioned it yourself, that you got together and started podding again, which is great. How did the two of you get involved in the whole Twitter thing and then YouTubing? Like, how did that... We know that you met, like, online, but I'll let you tell the story, how you got involved in this whole Twitter sphere that is FPL.
Do you want to tell the story, Sham, and then
I'll go for it. So me and Rob are part of Planet FPL's Patreon with James and Sudge, and over the Christmas, James did a Zoom call with all the kind of advanced tier Patreons, and on the call I'd mentioned how I really missed podding and I wanted to start up again, and Rob sent me a message about a couple of days later and said, I heard that you wanted to start podding again. I don't mind. I'm up for it. We'd never spoken before, and I said, "Oh, okay, great." And then we spoke for about an hour on the phone. A few days later, and then a week later, we started podding.
Brilliant, excellent, best decision you can make, I think. Like what we were saying, just before we went live, us three were the same. members of another channel for ages, and then during that kind of first lockdown, the three of us were gaming together on the PlayStation, and we thought, why do we not just go and do our own thing the way we want to do it? And with the ideas that buzzes about in Matt and Boona's head, we were like, let's just put it out there and just, if folk enjoy it, they enjoy it. As long as we're still smiling, that's all that matters. Kind of idea. But it's about the public at the end of the day. If they're enjoying it, then we'll keep creating it. You know, and used to seem very similar to that. So I think it's great. I think it's a great move for you. Enjoying it?
Yeah.
It's good fun. Gives me an excuse to get away from the missus for an evening and just chat football.
Yeah,
That's why you really did it. Don't lie.
Yeah. Let's do it once a week, and like now like most weeks so far we've done like a pod night, and then we've done like a live stream night, and originally it was going to just be once a week, but yeah, once you get that like little bug for it, it's you kind of want to do it all the time, and yeah, it's good fun. It's just the dodgy deadlines that a bit annoying. Like end up recording. Yeah, like last night. Last night the aim was to record at like 8 o'clock, and then it was 9 o'clock, and then it was like, let's wait till the Spurs Everton game finishes. So we didn't finish recording till midnight. And then I've got the job to like edit it and get it all ready for it to go live the next morning. So it's always a late night for me. But with the European Cup starting back up again, it means we might be able to like start podding a bit earlier in the evening. So we're not waiting for games to finish from Premier League.
No, definitely.
I think the main thing for me why I kind of enjoy it is, during this lockdown, not being able to see people is really difficult. Well, for me especially, it's difficult. And then being able to, talk with someone for an hour and talk about something that you really enjoy, like FPL, I really missed it.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing for me why I kind of wanted to start up again.
No, definitely. And yeah, that's very, very similar to us. Interacting with people and just taking your mind off all the other shit that's going on, and just just having a laugh for an hour or so. No, brilliant. Boona, you're here now, young man. Do you want to fire in with Sham and Rob and any questions?
Yeah, I don't know if it's been asked already. Literally just started listening about 5 minutes before I joined. But how long have you guys been playing the game?
So I've been playing around 5 years, but seriously for 3, I would say.
Okay. So what changed the move to a more serious approach, if you don't mind me asking as well?
More because I saw that there was a community for it. So I think one day I just went on Twitter and I just typed in FPL, and then I came across a load of podcasts. And I think back then it was the main ones were Always Cheating, and Who Got the Assist, and then FPL, one of my favorite podcasts. They're so funny. And then I just started listening to podcasts, and then I was like, oh wow, like there's a podcast for FPL. I had no idea. And then I just kind of got into it from there, and I just got addicted to it from that.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, very much the same for myself. It was like I've been playing for like probably 7-8 years, and it's only like in the last 3 or 4 years where I started to take it seriously. And yeah, I think I just got bored of listening to the same playlist on Spotify, and I just, out of chance, just searched fantasy football stuff in podcasts on Spotify, and then that kind of then led me into the Twitter community, and then just sort of down the rabbit hole, as it were.
That's when the rabbit hole opens right up. I've said this before on stream. The first season I played FPL, I didn't even know that you had to change your team every week. Like, I just thought that you just put a team in and that was it. And then I got halfway through the season and thought, how are all these people ahead of me? Like, why are they ahead of me? And similar to yourself, I literally just typed in FPL on YouTube and then done the same on Twitter. and then that's the rabbit hole that I'm still clambering in about.
So what's your excuse this season then?
Yeah, I'm just caught in that rabbit hole, mate.
I mean, I was always like a silent, like a sort of a voyeur, just sort of sitting in the background until probably about this time last year. Well, when the first lockdown started, and then it kind of just made me want to really get involved because there's so many people out there, and everyone's got this same hobby. It just felt right just to get involved and kind of that bit of like support that you can get that you might not be able to get at home or with your other mates or whatever. You've got this other group of friends all over the world.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, exactly that. Now, Sunshine in the chat, that wasn't like addressed. Oh, Sunshine. Sunshine in the chat, what do I do with DCL? These are the kind of questions that we encourage you to try and get rattled in amongst the chat. Matt will keep an eye on it, and believe me, we will get to all the headaches that we're all seeing. We'll get our teams up, etc., and talk through it, and we'll just have a mass discussion for a good half an hour or so on this up-and-coming game week. So don't fret, we will get there.
How's last night affected you boys? Because it's really fucked me in the arse.
Wow! And no one was absolute. No one had any lube or anything.
Joke, mate. Yeah, literally. Fuck me, nightmare. What about you boys? How were you? How did it affect you?
DCL and Antonio, and I don't know what to do. I think Antonio is going to be fit from this week, from what I've heard this weekend.
Yeah.
And DCL, we're not sure of. I think if I don't hear anything from DCL about DCL, then I'm just probably going to transfer him out. But I'm not.
Yeah, he's going for a scan. He's going for a scan, isn't he?
The news that's annoying me the most, be injured, because I was going to bring him in and captain him.
Who's that?
Pope.
Oh, okay.
He's not. He's fit. He's cleared.
He should be okay.
He's cleared.
He's been cleared now, yeah?
Yeah.
He's been cleared, yeah. The flag's also been removed.
Perfect.
So when we refresh or when we have a look, some of these flags might have disappeared, which would be nice for a change.
So what are the updates then on it all?
Do you want me? Right, I'll tell you what. Do you want me to flick that screen over the now, and I'll show you?
Yeah, it'd be worth looking through because I know there's a few people like there was like DCL, Antonio, Pope, Diaz.
Whilst Llama does that, I've got 5 flags in my team. Literally everyone that could be having a flag has a flag in my team. It's a joke. Literally, they think this is like, I don't know, man. They think it's like F1 racing, the amount of flags there are, right? So,
right, let me...
going for a scan. Very, very unlikely to feature. Dinia, we're going to hear what's happened there tomorrow. It's either fatigue or an injury. I think it was more fatigue. Pope has been cleared. Antonio seems in line to feature. He looks fine. And there was one more. Who's the other one? Oh, that's all 5, isn't it? 2 Everton, Burnley, Diaz. Antonio... And we don't know about Diaz yet. Don't know about Diaz.
Right, so this is from PremierInjuries.com, who there's also a guy over on Twitter that you'll all be aware of. He will keep you bang up to date. But this has been refreshed literally 10 minutes ago, or just before we went live. So this here just tells you basically, if you're not using this website, then I think it's quite a good one just to kind of keep on track. It's constantly getting updated. So there's your West Ham lot now. The main one being obviously Antonio sitting here. But as Sham was just saying, I think it was yourself, Sham, apologies. Don't think it's too bad. But he could be a concern for game week 24 as he didn't play tonight. But his potential return is Sunday's game. So might be okay.
Llama, do you know what really appeals to me on this screen you're right now?
What?
That top right hand side box where it says our points. Can you just read those points totals out? Our FPL points totals. Who's that at the top? Is that me?
Oh, that might be you. Aye, yeah. They're not. I don't think they're even up to date either. But that is the right. But that is the right order, though. I know that much.
Okay, just wanted to check, mate.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So who else were we kind of concerned about? Because I had a brief look. I think the other one was Justin. Certainly,
No, we got
Yeah.
Schmeichel. There's no chance he'll be playing at the weekend.
nah, I don't think so. And it pretty much tells you here that he's currently being assessed. He felt a pop in his knee. That ain't a...
Apparently, he
That
was
ain't a
walking
sign
around
for
in the
good sign.
changing room, but I don't think he'll feature this weekend.
Nah.
No chance.
Yeah, I
But
think-
having said that, who in their right mind would be playing him against Liverpool? Like, I know Liverpool aren't playing brilliant, but I don't think anyone would have played him this week.
Nah. Everton, DCL, we were kind of keeping an eye on, weren't we? As it
Yep.
says there, it's got no return date there. He was complaining about his hamstring when he went
He's
off the pitch.
never returning.
Nah. So, as Rob was talking about there, I think Richarlison, there could be a few people that may go that route, potentially. But I don't think...
Who has Calvert-Lewin in here at the moment?
I've got him now.
I've got him.
Have you boys got him?
Yeah, I've got him.
What? Yeah, so I fucked it. I wildcarded last week to try something different and bench boost this week. You might have seen it, yeah. So I've got 5 flags at the moment. But I think the majority of those players will play. Calvert-Lewin, I don't think he'll play, and I need to think now. I've after this weekend, if I do still bench boost, I've got no more chips left, no wildcard, no free hit, no nothing. So I need to sort of take future game weeks into consideration with any moves that I make. Who are you leaning towards at the moment as a DCL replacement? I'll start. I'm going either Cavani or Ings.
I am thinking about Cavani or Richarlison.
Yeah, Richarlison is in the question as well, definitely. But if he gets a double in either 25 or 26, that makes that so much more stronger a case.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, it's like I really wanted to attack game week with Everton, and I think I really want one of their like a midfielder or a forward, and the most nailed for both games is Richarlison, because even if DCL was injured for Sunday's game but was back for midweek game against City, you're still going to get Richarlison for both games because he's not going to get dropped for DCL. He'll just move back into the left wing position.
You wouldn't think he would, but my only concern with him is he's now played 120. I don't think that's a concern.
They've
Not
got no
with
one else.
Richarlison. Yeah, and they've got no one else.
They've got no one else.
They've got Josh King and
That's what...
Bernard, but yeah. You know, you'd imagine they wouldn't want to disrupt the front three too much, especially if Calvert-Lewin's out. So.
That's what Arif
You got-
was saying as well.
You got Steffi with an interesting one, saying, is it an option to bring in Kane now if DCL?
If you've got the money, I think so. Even though he plays City, I think it's good to get in early, unless you're planning to wildcard next week, in which case then you don't need to rush it in this week.
The other one there that will... Sorry, Rob.
No, with Kane, like that's someone. Because obviously everyone's now got all of that money from De Bruyne. A lot of people are jumping off Salah, so they've got all of that money to spend. And Kane could be. I mean, it's someone that I'm looking at targeting ahead of 26, and because we know that he's almost certainly going to play in 29 as well as doubling in 26. Which, I mean, yeah, if the results from tonight's games go the right way, yeah, him against Southampton in 29 is, it's a huge captaincy option.
Yeah.
That week.
I think like what you had said on the podcast earlier this afternoon that I was watching during the premiere. Even I think you had said it yourself as well. Look out for the kind of main spreadsheet. Once that's done, like your own one, or even what's this? Always get the two Bens muddled up for some strange reason. But when that's updated, we'll know for definite who's got doubles and when they are. And I think the safe thing to kind of, I know we're not a tipping site or anything like that. I think that's probably the best advice we can give is, with the best will in the world, don't do what I've done and make your transfers like as soon as the deadline's passed. Actually, wait. That's probably the best bit of advice, especially at the moment the way things are. We've got Dan in the chat. He's not been here for a while. Good evening, Dan. Oh, Matt, you've pissed off Steffi now. Well, since Matt said that it's a good idea to get in Kane, I just can't do it anymore. Fuck's sake, man. So, yeah. But yeah, just in front of us there, boys, we've got the fact that Nick Pope has had a wee knock. No injury, condition-wise, there's nothing to fear. He's now back to 100%, and he will feature on the 13th. So, there we go, with regards to Burnley. Who was the other one we were looking at? City, weren't we? Like, with Diaz.
Yes, yeah, Diaz and stuff like that.
So
While you're looking at that as well, you've got Sunshine in the chat saying, on the Everton train, what do you think about Digne? Should I wait on transferring?
Yeah, you don't, no need to rush transfer him out, if that's what he means.
You could I'd say probably wait for when's the press conference? Are they tomorrow?
It'll be Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Saturday?
Yeah, they play Sundays, so it'll be Saturday, their press conference. I'm praying that it's early morning Saturday.
Mm.
But I'm not. Don't hold too much hope.
There's Anderson in the
if
chat.
If it's Sunday, I'm pretty sure it'll still be tomorrow.
If it's tomorrow, it's perfect.
I fucking hope it is, mate.
Yeah. So there's your update there, boys, on Diaz. Ruben has had a fever. He still had some problems with his stomach, and that's why he couldn't train yesterday. However, on here, they are saying that there is a potential return for him on the 13th. So it's a kind of 50-50 on Diaz. So there's someone there that I probably wouldn't look to transfer out straight away, because the chances are he's probably going to be not too bad. And at the end of the day, it's Man City. So when you're on that roulette wheel, nobody fucking knows who's going to start or not, whether they're injured or not.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to mention, Boona, about your lot, look at all the people that got rid of Kane because of his bad ankles, and then he goes and turns up and plays.
Yeah,
it's only after
annoying,
60,
mate.
60 minutes, isn't he?
No, you're on about the weekend, aren't you?
So
yeah, mate, I wasn't even happy that we won, and Kane and Son were scoring. It's what FPL does to you, isn't it? It's so annoying. I'm just there like, yay! I think.
Actually, that's a question normally that we would ask our guests. So it's a good wee segue, Boona, into it. So Rob, Sham, I know when we were speaking before we went live, I think it was yourself, Sham, that was saying that you're a West Ham's fan. I think I'm right in saying that. I hope I am. If I'm not, slap me in the jaw. Does that influence your decisions at all? Like the team that you support, and does it influence your FPL decisions? Start with yourself, Sham, I suppose. No?
Is he still there?
I don't know. Is he still there?
I've been a West Ham fan. Should we start with me? He's probably.
Yes.
I don't know where he's gone.
No, go for
Oh,
it.
he's disappeared.
Oh, has he actually disappeared? Right, let me try and figure out what's happened there. Yeah, Rob, go for it. Does it influence your decisions, the team you support?
So yeah, I'm a Man United fan, and
Hey!
I try to not let it influence my decisions. I mean, in recent years, there hasn't been a decision to make. We've been that bad.
Right, okay.
But I mean, it's helpful having that extra bit of insight, because you pay more attention to them. It's like that's what is making me second guess at Cavani at the moment.
Okay.
Because I don't think he's nailed to start. I think he should be nailed to start, but I don't think he is. Especially,
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Like the likes of Shaw especially, he's just looked so impressive in the last 4 weeks. And he's someone that I'm definitely looking at moving into the doubles coming up. Rashford as well. He looked the last couple of games. He's looked a lot better than he has recently.
I've had a good chat. I'm the same as you, United supporter, and I've had a good chat with both Boona and Matt and the folk in our Discord when we've been in the hangouts. And Rashford's done my head in. I've got him in my FPL team. Was tempted to kind of sideways move him for Son, but then you look at West Brom and Newcastle and you think, I can't get rid of him now. You know what I mean? I would want him for those two fixtures. So
Yeah.
I know I'm asking you guys the question, but for me, it does influence me a little bit, because I just know what the potential Rashford's got. But Cavani's an interesting one, and I know it's not a United podcast or anything, But I have had a few folk ask me in the DMs when they've slid in about Cavani, because he's done really well, and for me, I think he is a starter. But that's just my view.
I think in the double, he like because
That's the problem, isn't it?
If you wanted to target someone for a double, and I did mention on the pod, I think he starts against Chelsea, then Martial starts against Palace.
Yes.
I don't think. I think Greenwood's kind of locked himself into that right wing position, so there's only 2 spots to play for, and you don't drop Rashford.
No,
because he is starting to hit form.
Yes.
So it's Cavani and Martial that have got to vie for that last spot.
I know, and it's just annoying when you look at Martial, and I say it all the time, he still looks like he's squinting because he can't read a chippy menu. That's just the face that he's got on him. A few more folk in the chat have joined us. Hello to Brew, good evening, hope you're doing well. Jay's there, and we've got a little plonkers decided to join us. Young Aaron has just decided to fly in and say hello, so hope you're doing well, pal. Sham, you cut off there for a little bit and you're back now. So we were just saying about, does the team that you support influence your FPL decisions at all?
It does to a certain degree. Like I captained the Potato Salad King, Thomas Souček, a few weeks ago and goaded Rob into doing the same. So we did it together. It does to a certain degree, but I'm also like anti-bias. Like if I feel like we're going to lose a game, I will bench the players that I think other people would be starting.
Okay.
So it does influence me to a certain degree, but also it made me kind of buy Souček at the beginning because I could see what he was going to bring. And I know when a lot of people were like, oh, I'm not sure. Like the season where we had Payet and everyone, didn't know much about him at the beginning of the season. I had him from day one because I was watching him in the pre-season. I knew what it was about, knew he was going to do really well. So it does and it doesn't to a certain degree. Sometimes it can work against them.
No, cool. Thanks for that. Matt's already hinting at that. What is it, Matt? If Brentford get promoted, you're not telling anyone who's the best players to get in, basically, because you've been following them.
No, screwed a lot of you. I'm getting them all in.
So, just whilst we're on the injury page, is there any other teams that anyone wanted us just to have a wee quick look at? I'm just trying to remember the main. I think Boona, you covered it, didn't you, pal? The main kind of 5 people.
They were the key ones, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's off the cuff. Check Arsenal's. Cause when does Teeny come back? Because
he's not playing this weekend, that's for sure. Him and Partey are both out.
It's not looking likely for him to.
Again.
But saying, well, to be honest, they don't have a fucking clue what's up with Tierney. He's got a calf, shin, heel injury. So
it's just his whole leg.
Yeah, basically he's gubbed from the knee down. Kieran is recovering well from a strain to the right lower leg and is aiming to integrate back into training next week. So his status is flagged there at 25%. They're hoping on a wee potential return around the 21st, Matt, for Tierney. Yeah. And Partey could be back at the same time.
Oh, they're always dead. There's something to do with the training regime because they're all getting the same type of injury. It's always muscular injuries. So it's got to do with the training. They're doing something wrong. But who am I to know?
Tierney is really missed by Arsenal. They lack a lot of attack without him.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. But like you guys were talking about being the biased, I have no problem with that this season because outside like Saka and Pro Smith Rowe, my whole team shit. So we got Eddie out with a very
so basically, if you've got any Leeds assets, play them this week because they're going to get absolutely bastarded by Leeds.
Yeah, so this is so Leeds are looking strong. Yeah, they're looking alright, although Phillips is getting assessed at the moment if you've got Phillips. But apart from that, they're looking not too bad. Rodrigo ruled out. But yeah.
No, he's not. Sorry, ignore me. Wrong Rodrigo.
Yeah,
Wrong one.
Not that Rodrigo. Jeez. get thrown off YouTube for just giving out shite information.
Fake news.
So whilst I go surfing for handbags here at the top of the Premier Injury site, is there any questions in the chat, Matt? And then what we'll do is, if you want, we'll dive into both our guests' teams and see where their heads are at.
We got a very good one from Eddie, and it's on everyone's lips at the minute, and is, when is a good time to play your bench boost?
Oof. There's a belting
That's
question.
We'll go to Rob first.
Oh, go for it. Rob's getting hit in the jugular there from Eddie. When do we bench boost, Eddie? Eddie?
Rob.
I was thinking, is he talking to me or is he talking to?
Sorry, yeah.
So I mean, personally, I like to have as many games available for my bench boost. So yeah, if I still had my bench boost, I'll be looking at 26.
Yep.
I mean, we should know tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, what the layout of 26 is. But yeah, I'd be looking at 26. But then, if you, like a lot of people this week, I mean, before all the injuries happened, they were like looking at the struggles they were having with having to bench players, and if your main 11's all got good fixtures, and then your 4 substitutes have all got good fixtures, and they're all locked into play,
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue against it. Like, yeah, you don't want to get those. Like we spoke yesterday about being like goggled into only looking at double game week players and not considering the stronger single game weeks.
That's so true. We've spoke about that a lot of times, Rob, haven't we, on this cast as well, that it happens season after season. You get so waylaid into the Twitter thing and all the rest of it and what you think the whole world's doing, and they're bringing in Duncan Duffy to double up and all that kind of rubbish.
Oh, mate, I tripled up and captain that week. Can you not speak about that, please? I'm literally just getting over it.
No, but but that's what we do. We put ourselves through it every season, and then at the end of the game week, you go, "Fuck! Why did I not just captain Bruno against West Brom?"
Well, that's why I am so tempted to go Bruno. I just don't know what's going on. But the thing is, Sterling's looking sharp.
Yeah,
I can't not captain Sterling. Do you know what I mean?
it's true. It's very true. Sham, what do you reckon about bench boosting? Have you still got the chip? Sorry.
No, so I use a bench boost, and as me and Rob both learned, bench boosting in a double game week doesn't always pay off. I think I got something like 6 points, and Rob got like 9 points or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and that was in the last double game week. I was initially against it, and then it was my mate Shez, who I used to pod with. He asked me the question, and he said, "What about bench boost for this week?" And the logic he gave behind it was that he could wildcard the week after and get rid of all the shit from his bench, all the kind of the lot of value, and then just put all the money into the starting 11, which is a good argument to have, because we've got a lot of money spread all over our bench from the earlier bench boost, and actually a wildcard would just get rid of it, and then if you've got a good bench, you can just use it in the meantime for a bench boost. So I think that's a good argument. I think if you've got a good bench, bearing injuries, depending on if you've got 4 starting players, then yes, I don't see anything wrong in doing that.
I totally agree with that. I'm this for Eddie, just to kind of go to you directly. I'm still planning on using it in that big double game week 26. That's just for me personally. I think the best time to use it. What about yourself, Matt? You tell the boys when you used your bench boost.
Mate, this was the best time, and everyone was bantering me all season, and then people did fuck all in their bench boosts. I did mine game week 1.
I was going to joke and say game week 1.
I did it game week 1. I got 19 points because it's almost like a wild card off the bat. You know who's going to play off the bat. You know well in advance who's injured and who's like fit. So what's the problem time in doing it? If you wait till later in the season, you have this thing where you possibly have to take minus points to get a bench boost ready, or wild card into a bench boost. And like Boona will tell you after I finish talking, that doesn't always work.
Does it work?
Yeah, I don't see an argument against it.
Well, we'll confirm that after this weekend.
Bruno, tell us your situation. Are you still because obviously you were going to do the bench boost this weekend. Are you still going to do it even with the injury doubts, or?
Yeah, I mean it depends. If Digne and Diaz get cleared, I'll probably do Calvert-Lewin to one off Cavani, Ings, or Richarlison, and just take the punt that Antonio, based off what I've read today, starts, and I probably will do it. But if Diaz is out, that makes it a bit more tricky because that would mean a minimum -4, and I don't really like that because then it's essentially I'm taking 4 points away from myself straight away.
Yeah.
Even though it could pay off.
I forgot about
yeah.
him. I forgot about doubting Digne. So he's had a little knock, but it looks like he's got a potential return on my birthday, which is a nice wee present, even though I've got no interest in owning him. But he's currently being assessed, so he's about 50% at the moment, Boona, just for you there, with regards to Digne. How is that going to... Someone in the chat was asking, Diallo. Am I going off my head? Who's he play for? What?
United.
Yeah.
Diallo.
Yes, the young guy you bought in
signing.
the summer, didn't you? And he come in January, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, so that's what he's referring to. Yeah. I was like, I'm going off my head here. I've just lost my total who this guy is. But yeah, no, I know who you're on about now. Yeah. Yeah, he has a potential. He is ready. He's done really well actually, I think, in the under 21s and reserves. So
where's he play? Is he attacking mid? Was he?
The right winger.
Yeah. He's very attacking.
That's your Sancho replacement.
Well, that's another story. Rob and I could
That's
just
fun
chat
for the summer.
Yeah, yeah, we could chat all night about that. So let's have a little look at. So whilst you get your questions in, because I know, Matt, there's a few there, isn't there? So we'll definitely try and rattle through all the questions in chat. So please do continue with them, and we'll try and hopefully cleanse your heads a little bit. But let's have a look at the game week that's just passed for yourself, Sham. I will read the team out just for anyone that's sitting down. Sorry?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I thought I'd cut somebody off there. So I'll go through the team just if folk are listening, doing their hoovering or doing their dishes and all that type of jazz. Really good game week 23 for you, though, on the grand scheme of things, I would say, Sham. 70 points, all out. Martinez in goal, bagging you 9, 3-4-3. Kufal on 6, Cancelo on 2, Dallas there, brilliant on 12. Fernandes 7, Barnes 3, Grealish 2, Salah 7. And then up top, he did have Calvert-Lewin in his starting lineup, so got the 12. The same as half of Twitter, got 4 points for a captain's armband round Antonio. And then finishing it off there with Bamford on 6. Look at that though, chaps and girls. He did have old Gundogan sat there on the bench for 13 points. However, I don't think you'll be too distraught, will you, Sham, with the whole 70 points all out though?
No, it was all right. I had a decent game week. I was flickering between Barnes and Gundogan, and then I just decided to go Barnes. It was a mistake, but yeah, 70 points. Moved from 450 to 430k in rank. So yeah, moving in the right direction.
Excellent. And what was it Rob was saying earlier? Game week 40, you'll catch him.
Yeah, that's what he said. I was like 1.5 million about 5 weeks ago. So yeah, I'm glad to I'm slowly getting there.
I'm glad you've said that, Sham, because we do say this to people in the chat and in Discord, etc. Don't worry about it. You can go on a spree of 3 or 4 game weeks and push yourself into the ranks. I think I'm barred from the top 1 million this season because for some reason I get a ball hair off it and then I just get lobbed back up the way again or down the way, however you want to look at it. So moving into the double game week, how have you don't need to tell us, by the way, because I understand that there's a pure rivalry going on between yourself and Rob, so if you don't want to divulge anything,
fine. We're quite honest with each other about it.
So where's your head at then for the next game week?
Now.
So I'm probably going to be doing me or Tarkowski and Pope in for Johnston and Robertson.
Okay.
So that's probably what I'm doing. And then potentially captaining Pope.
Interesting.
So I'm gambling on Pope.
I know there was a few. I was actually one of them, contemplating the captain's armband on him. Still not 100% at the moment. I can show you in a moment. Not that anyone's interested, but I've still got it wrapped around Bruno just now. But yeah, quite comfy then. Only a couple of flags there, and I take it you'll just you're not going to go massive hitting, are you, or anything?
No, I think the most I'll do is maybe a -4 for DCL out if we know that DCL is definitely out.
Okay.
That's probably it.
Cool. Alrighty, nice one. Rob, before we come to your team, there's a question that every single guest gets asked. Okay? So what we'll do is, we'll ask the question, get your answers, and then we'll nip in and have a look at your team, Rob, yeah?
Okay.
Nice one. You have to put yourself in a situation, though, the two of you. So this question is for both of you. Sham, I'm coming to you first for your answer. It's the final seconds in a Champions League final. You're through on goal, and you're 1-on-1 with the keeper. You're just about to lace your foot through the ball when out the corner of your eye you see your strike partner. Now you know if you pass to him, he's surely not going to miss because he's standing there with an open goal. The ball's at your feet, not his. However, Sham, it's you with the ball at your feet. So what are you doing, mate? Are you smashing it or are you passing it?
Smashing it, 100%.
No, nice. That's upset a few folk in the chat. They thought you were passing.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm smashing it. I want that fucking glory for myself.
Nice. I like an honest answer. Brilliant. Now, Rob, you've heard Shams. Now, you don't need to copy him if you don't want to, but it's now you that's in that situation, mate. So you're through on goal, 1-on-1 with the keeper. You see your strike partner stood next to you, but it's your decision. What are you doing? Final seconds, smash or pass?
Can we add to this?
What's
It's
the
going to
score?
be Sham that's going to be next to you as your strike partner.
Oh, Matt, what a twist! Plot twist.
What's the score?
It's nothing each.
What's the score?
It's nothing each.
0-0.
It's the final seconds. It's nothing each. But now
I'd pass. I'd pass, and if he misses, then
He's
it's on him.
he's getting pelters if he misses. Brilliant, lads. Thank you very much for that. So, Rob, we're now looking at your team, and again, I know you were only 8 points off your counterpart there, but still another decent game week, I would say. You, similarly, have went for the 3-4-3 formation, or that's how it ended up being. Martinez in goal on 9, Loughton on 2, Diaz 1, Kufal 6. Stuck the captain's armband on Fernandez, got the 14 points, well done to you. Salah on 7, Barnes 3, Soucek 0, which was nice. That brings us on to another topic, by the way. Calvert-Lewin sat there with the 12 points, so another one that bagged the 12 points. Bamford on 6 and Ings on 2, but oh dearie dear. There he's there on the bench, good old Gundogan with his 13 points. However, as I would say, really good game week though, mate. Similar to Sham, where's your head at as we head into game week 24? And again, you don't need to tell us anything if you don't want to. But I think you're alright, are you not? Or are you making any decisions or what are you doing?
So I've got 2 free transfers.
Nice.
I know that I'm getting rid of one of Barnes or Salah this week. If DCL is fit, I'm probably going to do Barnes and Salah to Rashford and who was it? Rashford and Grealish,
yeah.
to attack into the double game week. If DCL isn't fit, or we don't hear any news, then I'll probably switch him over to Richarlison.
Okay.
And then just move Barnes onto Rashford for
right,
now, and
okay.
then do Grealish at a later date.
Okay. Perfect.
That's kind of where I'm at the moment, but that could all change in the next 48 hours.
But you're not going are you similar to Sham though? You're not going to go heavy hitting your way into the double game week or anything, just going to take it easy.
No, yeah, I think it's one of those where if if you try and load up too much for 24 and then for 25, it could leave you a bit lopsided for 26, and then it's a struggle then to get from 26 into 29. Because I've only got the wild card and the triple captain left, so it's just keeping like one eye on 29 and how I'm going to move into 29, because I'd like to be there with 11 players.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's a tricky one, but yeah, it would be nice to be there with 11.
Yeah, I'll probably try and get your advice and alongside Matt Boona in the chats if we do have a quick look at my team, for example, because I've not got Ings or anyone like that. So this Calvert-Lewin thing's putting a bit of a blinker on me a little bit. I don't know whether to swap him out and maybe bring in Ings for that game in mind, or with that game in mind, but I just don't know. I don't know. But no, really happy. Quite happy and content with your team. No, and you're doing well rank-wise as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I went through a really good run, sort of this side of Christmas. So I went 9 green arrows in a row, I think it was, and then I just had a couple of reds in a row. So yeah, I've had a little bad couple of game weeks, but not anything disastrous. The aim is still sort of top 50k.
Yeah.
And by playing next 6 or 7 game weeks, right? I could be there by 30. Fingers crossed.
Excellent. I mean, that's another one, isn't it, Matt and Boona, that we do, ask our guests, or the chat tend to ask the guests. Do the two of you, do you have a plan before a season starts on where you want to finish, basically? Like, do you goal set that way, or is it more a kind of month by month, game week by game week approach? What
for me, it's
Sham?
10. Yeah, for me, it's top 10k.
Cool. Okay.
And now it's looking like it's a lot more difficult to do that, but I'm still aiming towards the top 50k at least.
Yeah. And I take it, do you try the best, Sham, to just rule out overall rank, essentially? Like, basically try and not put your eye on it, if that makes any sense at all. You've set your end goal, so try not to look at it week on week.
No, I'm really difficult. I'm really bad for that. I look at it all the time, and I find it difficult not to look at it, because that's kind of a target at the beginning, and so I've set myself a new 4-week target, and then an 8-week target, and a 12-week target, like that from now. So in the next 4 weeks, I want to be in the top 100k, and then after that, move towards the top 50k, etc. And that's kind of the target that I'm going for. But it's really difficult, which is why I'm trying to do different things, like, for example, captaining Pope, where not a lot of people would do that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And what about yourself, Rob? Are you the same? Do you try and set yourself like an end of season target, or how do you kind of go about, your season?
I sort of start the season with a target to aim for end of season, and then kind of just change it up depending on how the season's going.
Okay.
So yeah, this season it's been a bit of a struggle, so I kind of lowered my expectations a little bit, but now I'm kind of lifting them again to, like, I kind of lowered them around the time there was all of the postponements and everything. I sort of went, right, I'll probably end up being happy with a top 100k, but now I'm like, I know that few good, like 3 or 4 good game weeks can put me into the top 100k. Then yeah, I've got to be looking at least 50k. But yeah, I mean, the aim's somewhere a lot higher than that. Just it would be nice, because I've had a couple of top 100k finishes in the last few years when I've been playing seriously. But last year, I mean, it was just a shit show. The summer was, and yeah, it was just kind of ended up being a bit of like just whack it in the trash and forget about it. So yeah, really hoping to push on this year.
I think the thing is that you can do that. You can bounce back at any point. Matt loves it when I tell everyone about it. But when the football started again, Project Restart or whatever it was called,
one time in bed camp.
I think I got something like, and Boona will remind me because he's really good with numbers, but I'm pretty sure I got 86, 108, and 104, something like that. All single game weeks back to back. And that took me from like the 1.
When was that? 1962.
It was in black and white.
Remember
mate.
that, Bruno? We were giving him his Project Restart. Me and you were giving him so much shit after we all got tons and he got fuck all. And he
Yeah.
got back to back hundreds. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
So,
Yeah, I
so
remember
it can
that.
be done. It can be done. So let's get back to the chat, Matt and Boona. Anything that's coming out in the chat that we need to run past our guests and also at the same time try and help them out?
We've got Eddie going. Was thinking of using a bench boost game week 26, but I guess it all depends on the fixtures you players have. Thanks, guys. You got Arioki with a very interesting thing. I'm thinking of tripling Chelsea this game week instead of Everton. What are your views on that?
What?
Oh,
That's a very out there, isn't it?
It's a,
Well,
just a bit.
they are playing Newcastle. Newcastle haven't got Wilson now. He's going to be out for a few weeks. So, I
So
mean,
you find out
I
the
wouldn't be
players
bringing
that you
in
play, though?
3 Chelsea players. I don't know if I'd be bringing in 3 Chelsea players, but one thing that I was thinking about Everton actually is for this particular game week. So they've got Fulham and they've got City. Fulham's defence have been a lot better. I know Everton won last night and they scored 5 goals, but without DCL, and I think James was out last night as well. We don't know if he's going to be playing because I think there was a flag on him. I don't know if there still is. Are they going to be as good attacking wise as we think? You know,
They're not going to play Spurs every week.
Fulham defensively are pretty sound. I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if I saw a 0-0 there. To be honest with you,
I'll take that, bro. I got Areola on my bench boost. Come on, give me those points.
but yeah, I don't know if I'd be bringing in 3 Chelsea.
Yeah, but
I'm agreed with that.
I agree.
That is a very out there one, even for me.
yeah, must be out there if it's not even crossed your mind, Matt.
We got Davey saying, with a very another interesting question, is taking a hit to bench boost worth it?
Ooh, that is a good one. What do you think, Rob?
It's a very good question.
Yeah, I if it means if you think you're getting the right value for taking your hit, like I wouldn't be doing like -12s and all of that, but yeah, -4, -8 to get yourself with a decent bench to boost, then I'm not averse to it. It's attacking that chip, isn't it? Really, rather than trying to defend with that chip. So
Yeah.
I'm inclined to take a hit for a bench boost. I've done it in the past, and I'll do it again.
What about yourself, Sham? Would you take a hit going into a bench boost?
Yeah, I think I would. It would depend, obviously, who I had and if that player was injured or not, or likely to play 2 fixtures if they had a good fixture. So, for example, if this week you had, I don't know, a Fulham defender or a non-double game week defender and bringing in a Burnley defender for a -4, I don't think there's anything wrong in that because Burnley have got 2 really good fixtures, could easily get a clean sheet in both. And you're taking out a player that's either got 1 fixture or 2 bad fixtures. I don't think that's anything wrong. But if you're taking out, a player that's got 2 good fixtures and swapping them for another one with 2 fixtures, I wouldn't go with that.
No, that's fine. No, thank you very much for that. So there you go, Davey. Taking a hit going into a bench boost is not the worst decision that you could have made. What about yourself, Boona or Matt? Would you hit into a into a bench boost?
I don't see the point. That's why I play it game week 1.
I'm quite passionate about this particular topic. In that I just feel like I said to you guys when I first came on, to the stream today, that it's something that doesn't really sit right with me. I'm not saying it can't pay off, but immediately you're on the back foot.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of the bench boost, right, is to really, create that gap from those that aren't using the bench boost, and that we can all of a sudden you're giving them a 4-point head start on you, and you're having to remake those points up. So for me, no. Can it pay off? Yeah, I probably wouldn't take more than a -4 if I was bench boosting there.
Cool. And I know, Matt, I know where your head's at with this whole thing, Matt. That's why you done it game week 1.
100%. I don't like taking the hit. I'm a hit master with it all. I love my hits, but I wouldn't take it if you're playing a chip.
The hit master. FPL Ninja on hits. I love how we segue into things on this show. It's almost natural. What are the most hits any of you have taken in a particular game week? We'll start with yourself, Sham. What's the most hit points you've ever taken?
I think I've taken a -16 a couple of seasons ago, but I can't remember what it was and if it paid off. But I know I particularly did do a -16. I've done that once.
Really?
Oh no, actually, I do remember it. It was 3 seasons ago. It was the last game of the season, and I was like chasing a mini league, and I took a -16.
And did you win it?
Okay, I came second.
Oh, okay. So it was nearly. It was
Nearly, yeah.
Nearly. And what about yourself, Rob? Most hits you've ever taken in a game week?
Most I've taken is a 12, I think it was.
Come on, son. You need to get a bit higher than that.
I need to... You're hoping I'd say like 20 or 24. No.
I've taken a 20, you know.
Yeah, I've done a 20.
Well, Buddha, that's not surprising coming from you, my friend.
Nah, man, you lot got me wrong. You know, you lot don't understand me. The whole Twitter world thinks I'm this hit gang guy, yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm calculated.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, honestly, it's scary. See if the three of us added the amount of hits we've taken, even this season, it's ridiculous.
I think me and you're on the same llama. I checked the other day.
Oh, did you?
Bruno's
What,
like,
I need to.
we're on we're on 44 transfers each this season.
Is that including the 2 free ones that I made going into this game week, and now they've both got flags on their heads?
No,
That's not included.
that won't. That's what I mean. Look at this. I'm on 33. I'm civilized, mate. I am proper.
Oh, shut
I'm
the fuck
toned
up
down.
by 7
Civilized
points.
by
Oh,
33
dear.
transfers, mate. Fuck me.
Bad man, he's talking about your Captain Pope there in the chat. That could be a painful watch behind the sofa.
Mate, I'll be with you, bad man. I'm doing the same. Captain and Pope this week.
Oh, you doing it as well?
Aye.
Oh, dear. So, Sham, was it yourself or Rob?
Yeah.
No, it is you,
me,
Sham. Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
that.
it was me.
So, are you going to be behind the sofa?
Fuck me, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Were you captain in Pope as well?
Yeah, I think so. I
gonna
think
need
I'm
a
probably
big save,
You know, you lot are made of some strong stuff. Like I didn't have any of them captain this week just gone. Not midweek, sorry, the weekend just gone. I obviously wildcarded last week and I bought in double Burnley defense and I played them. And I was trying my best to avoid checking scores, man, because I knew what was coming. Literally, I'm like to my fiance, like, yeah, let's go upstairs and watch MasterChef, so I don't need to focus on football. I go upstairs, and I check the football score. No. Fuck's sake, man! Let's put this MasterChef on. I need my mood to change here. Fucking hell.
Matt, what else is happening in the chat?
We got Eddie with an interesting one. Is Foden worth a punt?
Foden's a total what?
Is Foden worth a punt?
Oh, right. That's fine. Thought we're going to get lobbed off the channel then. What we saying, Rob? What we saying, Sham? Is Foden worth a punt? Just want to watch how I said that.
It depends who for, and depends if you got Gundogan already. I would say, if you haven't got Gundogan, I think he's first choice ahead of Foden, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's still questions over whether like he starts every week, and like it's with Gundogan, you're pretty safe at the moment, and with Foden, you've got the pep roulette, and I just don't think it's the time to be jumping on the wheel.
The wheel of doom that we're all on every
Yeah.
week.
I think we're quite safe with some of the other options at City, and you're better off going with those safe options at the moment.
I remember who I was listening to. Was I don't know. Did you guys cover this? It might be you actually that spoke about it. But a few folk talking about Ederson. So when they were looking at
Yeah, we spoke about it.
yeah, I thought it was yourselves. Yeah. So when you're looking at City as a defence, and What did the fraudster go? Talking about fraudster, the fraudster say in his press conference? Yeah, we might just get Ederson to take the next penalty.
Yeah. So I posed an interesting question on Twitter, and I basically said, if you had 2 defenders and 1 midfielder, 3 City, and then Ederson last night in the Swansea game, let's say he started and they got a penalty and he took it and he scored, would you bring in Ederson the next game week for a hit?
Interest. Me being me, probably would. What about yourself, Booner? That's dumbstruck, Booner. Oh no, he's maybe on the phone to somebody. Matt.
What was the question again?
So
If you
Imagine so Ederson started last night against Swansea.
Yep.
They got a penalty. He comes out, he scores it. Do you take out one of your 3 City players and bring in Ederson for a hit?
Captain baby.
oh, Jesus, would you go that far? It's a great question. Chat, let us know in the next 5-10 minutes if that is something that you would do. Stick the captain's armband round Ederson, or just get him into your team if we know for definite that he's taking penalties.
Have you seen what John's put in the chat? He wants to get the gloves out.
Where's John? Oh yeah, no, I have seen that. Before we get to that question though, just on Gundogan, Paulie makes a valid point, so it'd be interesting to get both your views on it. Gundogan possibly playing as a number 6. Do you think that's ruined a few captaincy picks?
Oh, this is because Rodri's dead, right?
Yeah. So what we thinking, Rob? Or Sham?
It's something that is playing on my mind with my captaincy this week, because I think my 2 captaincy options, it's either Gundogan or Bruno.
Okay.
So I've got the double with Gundogan, which is the upside as well. But then Bruno, I think I've got the higher ceiling. Still think he's like, I wouldn't be getting rid. Think he's still great value, because even if he plays in that like 6 role, he can. That's it. What his game's about is making those late runs into the box.
Yeah.
So he's still going to be making those runs from deep. He can shoot from 25, 30 yards as well. I wouldn't be getting rid, but that's probably what would sway me away from picking him as my captain this week.
Okay. No, and what about yourself, Sham? Like just with the potential, if you were thinking of, you're on Pope anyway. You're not bothered about Gundogan.
Pope. So that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking Pope, because I don't think Gundogan is a clear captaincy shout.
Yeah.
And I don't think, other than Bruno, I don't think there is in the double game week personally, which is why I'm going Pope.
Okay. No, and I think that's valid. I think that's fair enough. I think we all have said it. You know, you guys said it on your cast, and I know we've spoken about it today. That don't rule out the single game week players either. Is the only other thing I would say, because I know it's burnt us all before in seasons past. I see the question you are referring to, Matthew. I'll let you ask.
We'll finish on this question as well, because it'll be an interesting way to finish the pod. John asks, who claims to be the best between them in FPL?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, what a question.
Oh, Jesus.
Rob, I'll let you answer that first.
There you go. Kindness.
So the best between me and Sham?
Yeah, who's better?
I'd actually say Sham is.
We don't want no pulling punches here, lads. Come on.
At the moment, like historically, Sham's better. Now, it's me. I'm higher in the rankings. And that's it. That's my answer. Done.
Yeah, I've had a good couple of seasons. Couple of seasons ago, I finished 6k, and then last season I finished 80k. So I've had a good couple of seasons. This year, I'm finding it really difficult. But yeah, I think at the moment Rob is better than me. But hopefully by the end of the season that will be changing.
Yeah, game week 40. You've got your eyes all over.
Yeah, game week 40, mate.
So, no, thank you very much for that. Anderson saying in the chat, Christ's sake, a minus 48 last season because I knocked it by accident when I meant to do a wild card. You'll be making that mistake again. Then he's also said that Rodri's now trained, so that could maybe throw up a few belters. I think it goes without saying, Rob and Sham, what an absolute delight it's been. With the two of you been on the show with us this evening. Again, Matt, I go glancing at the watch that is literally sat in front of me.
Fucking hell, it's been that long.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, isn't it? And I don't know, do you guys find that with podcasts? You aim to do an hour and it can just run right over, no problem at all.
Well, our first podcast that we ever did together, the intro was 45 minutes and we had to wipe that all out. We hadn't even finished. Like, our first podcast was an hour and 40 minutes and we wiped out 45 minutes.
Jeez.
So yeah, we've got that down now to about an hour and 10, an hour and 20. But yeah, it does go pretty fast.
How did you find, I meant to say to you, the premiere this afternoon? We done a premiere with Ola. Was it? Yeah, it was just last week. I had never done that before. Was that the first time you had done that today? Or have you done that before?
I think we did that from the beginning, Rob. You set that up, didn't you?
Yeah, because I just like the way that you could schedule it, forget about it. And you can put it in at a time when, so I always try and schedule them in either like around lunchtime when everyone's got their lunch hour, or I'll do it schedule it for like early evening, like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I quite like that, rather than just uploading it at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Because then you can kind of have, you can have kind of like watch along feel to it where you can, we try and get in the chat and chat amongst whoever else is watching at that time, which is good fun.
There was a guy, Dre. There is a guy called Dre, really good friend of the show, and it was him that kind of introduced it to me. He was like, "Why do you not schedule some of the stuff?" And we did it for that cast with Ola, and I really enjoyed it. Like you say, you're watching it, but you can interact with the chat all at the same time. So, really, really good. You
do get the odd person that they'll like start asking questions. We had a couple of weeks ago, someone was sitting there like asking questions, and then he was like spamming the same question. I just had to say to him, mate, it's a pre-recorded thing. It's not live.
I would have kept him going though. I'd have just kept. I don't understand why we're not answering this question. Give me 5 minutes.
We did actually cover his question in like kind of in the pod anyway. I was like, look, give it 15 minutes and we'll have your answer.
But no, as I say, I just want to say on behalf, Boona, I think he's had to disappear unfortunately. So we wish him all the best. On behalf of our chat and also obviously Matt, I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much for both popping in and saying hello, for us to get to know you a bit better, and hopefully for you guys to get to know us and obviously the chat and all the rest of it a bit better, and hopefully you've enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, it's been really good. Thanks for having us on.
Not a problem.
Cheers for having us.
Not a problem at all. Now,
and if no one knows who you are and what you are, please tell them where they can find you to.
Sham, you do it for the pod, so you may as well do it.
So we're on Twitter at FPL _Happy Hour. We're on a number of podcasts as well, so Spotify, Anchor, I think Google Podcasts as well, and our YouTube channel FPL Happy Hour.
Excellent.
If you want to find us individually, Rob is at FPL _Panda, and I am at FPL 2 Guys 1 Cup.
Brilliant.
I'm sure everyone will be searching that straight after.
Yeah, God knows what might come up. It might not be a Twitter handle. There could be some.
Yeah, make sure you put the FPL in front of it. Yeah.
Go into YouTube and search that.
Yeah. Oh my God, Llama! Thanks for that. Last night, I've now got an image in my head that I'll never get out of it.
I was thinking of the couch when Mrs. walked in.
Yeah. Buna was just saying there, that he has had to disappear. Just let the lads know it was a pleasure speaking to them and look forward to interacting with you both over on Twitter. Obviously, thank you very much for that, and thank you for letting our chat know where to find you. So everyone get over to them and obviously interact and get to know them even better. The podcast's really, really good. I was there today, for example, during the premiere as well. And the chemistry that you have both got is so good, and that's what FPL needs. So good to see you both interacting with each other and getting them out on a weekly basis. So well done, you two, and keep it going.
Thank you very much.
Matthew, do you want to wrap things up and say cheerio this evening?
Yeah, just be a quick one, really. If you enjoy what we do, please like and subscribe. I know everyone says it, but we got to say it anyway. And get part of the Discord. It's all free, and there's a load of hundreds of managers in there that all love chatting. And one thing that we want to highlight as well, which we didn't really notice and no one knew, there is a hangout section in the Discord. So if you just want to do stuff like we're doing now, just pop in the hangout section. I think it's called Dre's Hangouts, and then you literally, people will always join, and you can talk to anyone, and it's pretty much 24 hours. It's always going. I mean, who did we have the other day? FPL Texan, didn't we? Yep. He messaged you going, is that free? I see like about 8 of you in there. Can we join it? I was like, yeah, just get in it. It's all free. Come and join us and have a laugh. But other than that, there's no Sunday supplement this week because Buna and Llama have got hot dates, and I've got a hot date with a railway track. So we won't see you on Sunday.
No, thank you very much.
That, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, just smash the like button if you haven't already. It's greatly appreciated. And we're now, Matthew, Sham, I'll tell you as well, obviously, Sham and Rob, over 700 subscribers after just a few months. So thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you to all your
Really
faces. It's much appreciated. And if you haven't already subbed, this is the kind of shit that we do on a weekly basis. Next week, you'll be pleased to know we've got FPL Dave popping in. So another Scotsman. So if you need subtitles, just pop it in the comments below and I'll see what I can conjure up for you next week. All right. But no, apart from that, keep yourself all safe and well. Take good care of yourself and each other. And yeah, catch you later. Take it easy.
Bye.
Better sounds no one ever heard. I wish I had a better voice to sing some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that was new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure. And